Hi, all volunteers. It's Dana again. This is Center 3 on weather and water. This is, if you can go outside, this should be an outside one. If you can't, I have explanation on the outline, but there is a fan in the elf closet that you can use instead. It's mainly on wind. The first thing you're going to kind of talk about wind direction and speed, explain that, review the use of a compass. There are compasses in there, there's this in here, and there is other information about weather, temperature, that kind of stuff in here to talk about how that all works. There's a wind force, the Beaufort wind force scale chart to go through with the kids and kind of talk about that. There's also a weather watchers just for you to kind of go through with them and talk about at the end. You can ask the question what they think the weather will be like tomorrow based on all this information. And then you're going to do a little craft. You're going to build a wind vane. One other thing with talking about the wind, there is a handheld anemometer in here. You can play with that with them if you want. It is, you turn it on where the power button shows, and then different modes. It'll just show the temperature, it'll show the wind speed. It may work, it may not work, depending on how windy it is, but that's something you can show them. And instead of making an anemometer, we are going to make a wind vane, just because I think it's a little easier for the kids. Here are two examples of what the wind vanes look like. You will have pencils in there, they are sharpened. You will have straws in there, you will have plates. You will use the back of the plate, and there are rulers in there, have them do north, south, east, west, and you can let them decorate it. And then you'll stick the pencil through the middle of the line, so have them maybe do the lines. And then you can use tape to get the pencil to stay so it doesn't keep falling through. And then you take a straw. The straws are a little longer, so I put in there how long to cut them. But you can just eye it, so they're similar to the plate, the size of the plate. And then you will, and in each straw, you will, I don't know if you can see, I've cut, you just use scissors and cut through, so there's like a straight line through each. So you can stick the arrows, the arrow and the arrow, the back of the arrow, the flags on there. You will have small construction paper, thicker cardstock paper for them to cut. I have examples of them in here if you need those for them to draw, but really the arrow is just a triangle, and then the back is a square with a triangle cut out of the bottom, and then they just cut these two little things off. So those are all things they can do, and then if they want, they can just stick them in, and it should stay, cut it long enough so they can stick them in or have them come long enough. Or else, if you need, there's tape in there, so you can also use tape to put it to hold it on. And then the last thing is there are a bunch of pins in here. And so there's a bunch of stuff in here. It's for every classroom. I will be able to come refill it if we need it, but just know that there's a lot in there at the beginning because we need it for all the classrooms. So try to just use one per kid because I kind of base the numbers on that. And so these are pins, and these are for adult use only. Please do not let the kids open them and play with them. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. They're different colors. You can let them pick out their color, or you can just give them whatever color. And then when once they have their flag put together on their straw, then you take it in the middle. You can measure it or just kind of eye it in the middle and poke it through and push it all the way through the top of the pencil. And that way it'll stay, and you tell them that they need to leave it on there. They can't take it apart, and then they can put it in their backpack or whatever just to take home. But it has to stay on there. It's really important just because I don't want anyone poking themselves with it. So that is that. And then at the end or while you're working on the artwork and stuff, you can talk about clouds and how the wind affects the clouds because they'll learn about that in a different center about clouds. And then the final thing is just the weather watchers to kind of talk about what they think based on looking at the clouds and the wind, speed and everything, what they think the weather might be tomorrow. And that's something that you guys might talk about in the conclusion too. But just if you want to talk about it, that's how we kind of tie it all together because the wind is related to the weather. So thank you so much. Bye.